Hello, this short video will show you how to conduct a summary action using pivot tables in Excel. Okay, let's go ahead and get started then. So here's the data that I want to compute the summary action on. This contains information about the number of uninsured people in the United States. This is given on the county level, so I have information for all counties in the United States, roughly 3,000 or so counties. The age category here is specified as 4. That is indicating that a 4 indicates people under the age of 19. The income category here is 3, which is indicating those that are at the lowest income levels. The summary action that I actually want to compute is a total for number and group, and then also a total for those uninsured. Once I have those two totals, I can compute the ratio between those, and then that will give me the uninsured rate for the entire United States for children who are in this lowest income bracket. I read this data in using the Power Query editor. So this is already a table, and it has a table name. So here is the table name up here under Table Design. If I place the cursor in my table when I start here and select Insert, Pivot Table, what that'll do is bring up our first Create Pivot Table window. The top part of this window just says what data would you like to summarize. Because this is a data table already, it just uses the name of that data table. Down below it asks where would you like me to put the output. We usually want to specify a new worksheet here because then the data will not mess up the data that I have in my data table. So let's go ahead and say OK. That'll create a new sheet here, and over on the right is my options for creating my pivot table. The first thing we see is that we have all of the fields here listed. I'm going to want to compute a summary of this field here and then also this field. To create those summaries, I simply can use drag and drop my fields into this table down below, or these boxes down below, and this will create the appropriate table that I need. So for example, if I want to select number and group, I'm going to drag that down into the values box. And what is returned is the sum for the number in that group. Okay, so that is actually the summary that I need to create my percent uninsured. Now, there may be situations where we don't want to use the sum as my summary, but I might want to do maybe an average, for example. To change what the summary measure that's being used, we simply select the drop-down box in the values box here, drop-down arrow in the values box, and select Value Field Settings. That will give me a window where I can select other types of summaries. For example, an average, a maximum, minimum, or a simple count. There are a variety of summaries that can be done here. In addition, you might find it useful to, under the Show Values As, and you can change how the values appear in your table. So you can do ranks, you can do percentages, things like that. Here I don't want any calculations beyond just computing that simple sum, so I'll just leave that as it is here. So that is how I obtain the total for number and group. I also will need the total for uninsured. So I can simply select the uninsured field, drag that down into the values box, and I will get the sum of uninsured as well. Now to compute the overall percent, what I need to do is simply create a new calculation with overall percent, and then I can just say take this quantity and divide it by this quantity. And here we can see that the overall percent is at about, if I move that decimal over 2 places, it's at about 6.8%. So when we look at the entire United States, what percent of people under the age of 19 in the lowest income bracket are uninsured? That rate is about 6.8%. Okay, that's how you obtain a summary measure using pivot tables in Excel. Thank you.